Hello everyone, welcome back. We are packing up the Class A motorhome. We'll show a little footage of us driving and setting back up. What else do you want to say, Joni?
Well, we've already started our process of takedown, so we've rolled up all of our rugs, buttoned up our chairs, put our tables away, taken out the garbage. Inside we've fastened all the doors, we have put all the plants in the shower, we have gotten ready for all the slides to move in. Anything that's breakable that we didn't have fastened down for Christmas has been safely stowed away, everything taken off the counters, so that we're ready to get going.
All right, well, roll the intro.
So once we have buttoned up the inside, what we do is go around the outside, pick up things. We take the stabilizers off the big slide. So that's what Matt's doing right now. And you wouldn't necessarily need to use slide stabilizers. We do it because we feel that it gives more stability overall to the rig and the shakiness of it, even with the stabilizer jacks underneath. And
Another pro tip is before you move, I suggest doing a flush of your gray and black tanks.
So that's what he's gonna do now. So Matt, what are your steps before you start your flushing stage?
Use gloves.
Good tip. And he starts by dumping the black water tank, and then he'll do the gray water tank, and then he will hook up the hose to the, I don't know if you can see it, but that connection right there, where he will then feed water into both the tanks for allowing them to agitate, clean out, and do a complete flush of both of our tanks before we take off. And we'll spare you the nitty-gritty of watching what comes out of our tanks. Once we've got all of the tanks cleaned out, what we do is we unhook all the septic, water, water filter, softener, electric, and then we go through and make sure we got all the bays locked so that we're good to go. So our rig is all packed up in the inside and ready to go. All the slides are in. And how do we keep it all straight? We have slapsticks with our checklist on them. And I don't know, it might be kind of hard to see, but we just did the luggage base, so that one's done. And we unhooked the water and the electric. Matt is going to fire up the rig here shortly to do the stabilizers. And then the Jeep, we'll leave that for once we pull out of our site and get to about right there, straightened out. Then I'll pull the Jeep ahead and we'll start hooking that up to the Blue Ox system.
Just fired up the rig. The alarm you're hearing is just airing up the airbags. It'll, once it's to 120 psi, it'll shut off. Then we gotta automatically undo the levels. It's pretty tough here. You gotta turn it on and then retract all.
Real tough.
Alright, they're all done. Turn it off and just about ready to hit the road.
So Matt's just closing up the door. He's got the rig running. My job is to make sure all the stabilizers are up, which you can see. I already checked this. Another part of my job is moving the Jeep, so I pulled that ahead and out of the way so that we can clearly get out.
Right on the stop sign.
Yeah, that's that Fisherman's Fair farmer's market that I was talking about.
Sure.
Continue on Market Street.
Ooh, a little narrow in here.
A little. Sure this big rig friendly?
Well, one just came from here, so we should be okay. Ooh, Avalanche Outfitters. We gotta check that place out. This is the area that a lot of the stuff is happening.
And this is East Point or this is Appalachia?
This is Apalachicola. So every time we want to do something, we gotta cross this bridge.
Oh my lord.
Holy bucket.
Another day, I'm back on my feet, so I win again. Roses are so sweet, the scent is all around my head. I see the stars shining right through your eyes. No, I can't believe that you're finally mine. Girl, you're so perfect that you make me feel high, and I feel that I am the luckiest guy in the world. Yeah.
Here?
Yeah. Stupid they have you come in down
Yep.
here to... So I'm walking to our site. so Matt can get set up and lined up to park. So I need to get ahead of the game so you guys can see what we're doing. We had a little bit of a funny ha-ha because I didn't realize that the site was square, and so we had backed up, staying square with the far left driver's side, and when we came around we noticed that we were really crooked on the side that we get out, and we don't like being crooked on the side we get out. We like our space to be square. Anyway, another thing I do before we set up in assessing the site, before I have him back up, is I take note of where all the receptacles are, electric, septic, water, and I make sure that we kind of line up with them and that our slides don't interfere with the electrical receptacle, because that's usually pretty tall, so that when we slide those things out, we don't bump them, rub against them, or damage anything on the rig. So now that we're parked, Matt lets the air out, and then he puts the stabilizers down before I come on board and gather a few things, and then we get our everything else set up, and we'll show you here shortly. I'll show you guys a little bit of our setup. So we have a filter coming from the water with a pressure gauge, and then we put together this tub that holds all of our hoses, but also goes through our Blue Tech 3 filtration system, or 3-stage filtration system, and then goes into our water softener and then into the rig. With that being said, we're gonna look at this here. We put this tub together because it holds all the extra hoses. Every site it's a little different as far as the distance that you need it, but it keeps set up really easy because we have on the sides the in and outlets, and then when I turn the water on, I always make sure that the hoses are not kinked anywhere leading up and through to the water. So as the pressure fills, I make sure that these are all open and not kinked as well. And then when we put the slides out and then use our stabilizer, I always tie a lock to it. Hi you guys, thanks for tuning in once again. We appreciate you guys watching and following along with us on our venture begins. We just wanted to talk about the fact that it doesn't matter how many times we take down and set up, you always run into things that don't go quite as planned, or take a little longer than expected, or run into things like you'll see in our blooper at the end of our channel. So please continue to like, subscribe, and ring that bell, and follow along with us on our future journeys.
See you in the next one. What's making that noise? What is
Our bar in the back, or mud flap.
Why is it dragging? It shouldn't be dragging.
You got the airbags filled?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're right. You didn't, did you? Is that why they were leaking air when we stopped?
Oh, what are you talking about?
I saw you flip the switchy, Gomer.
I have no idea what you're talking about. We rubbed that whole way, huh?
I guess. The whole way here?
Oh, yeah. Perfect. We didn't lose it.
So is this like a person's house?
You want to put that on the checklist, Ben?
Yep.